Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another installment of All the Mods 9. I'm Katiana, and I had hoped today was going to be our multi-block day. But no, not quite. Not quite yet. Forgot to update the title. Let's get that done. We are getting closer. And maybe if we're very lucky, we will be able to start working on it by the end of the stream. Let me catch you up with what we have gotten done since last we met on Sunday. So, you know we were running out of oil. I've got 50,000 of that oil, and I have 17,000 of that oil. Oil problem solved. Ka-ching. I have added some more room of storage disks just on the off chance we would run out, because that one is now full and we don't want to run out of room, because that would be a bad thing. Up here we have more machines. So we have a extractor up here dedicated its entire life is soldering alloy dust to liquid soldering alloy. Nothing else. You shall do no other things. You are only committed to making liquid soldering alloy, because we use so bloody much of it. So that is all you will do for the entirety of your life. And you will do much of it. So I have a stack upgrade on here to make it go faster, because we need so much of it. Much of it. We have rounded the corner and we now have a mixer. And this mixer over here has our samarium, iron, arsenic oxide dust, which required the mixer 4. So this way our mixer 3 can focus its attention solely on making our soldering alloy dust, which of course is very important to keeping that machine over there very happy, because you know we want it to be very happy. I have been working very hard at making pieces of this fusion computer. Here's where we are at. We have got output hatches, we have input hatches, we have fusion glass, we have 4 superconducting coil blocks, we have our fusion reactor computer MK1, which is the controller, we have our 16 LUV energy hatches, and you can see we have 32 of the 48 fusion machine casings. We are 16 short of being able to assemble this bad boy. Why are we short? Because my system is unable to do more than 8 at a time. Why is that? Couple of things. It does not like doing large batches at once, for a couple of different reasons. In part, I think because because the game hates me. Let's just get that right out there. The game obviously hates me. Um, no, but seriously, yeah, we have, we have issues with too many crafts trying to hit the same block simultaneously. So, for example, this morning, I set one of these things up to run, and I went to work. While I was at work, another craft started, and instead of producing materials in this one, the materials was being overrun by stone dust coming through here, and started making something completely different over here than what I needed. craft completely ruined. Oh God. So, I have figured out a few things and have made some improvements to help us along. So, one of them was I increased the size of this particular hatch. The fluoroantimonic acid. We need a lot of it. And when I say a lot of it, I said we need all of it. We are producing naquita at sick amounts. So we need all of this fluid to be able to produce it fast enough. 16 buckets, not enough. Just not enough. So I increased it to be an HV input hatch, so it's holding 64 buckets at a time. This is an improvement, needless to say. It's a big improvement. I also increased one of the output hatches to a 64 output hatch, so it could output a significantly larger amount of fluid at the same time, because one of the crafts we're making is this one that it was producing titanium trifluoride dust and impure enriched naquita solution and impure naquadria solution, and we want that just going as fast as humanly possible to be able to get us the stuff we need. We have got this chemical reactor stacked to the gills with materials. We have got the fluoroantimonic acid. We have got an output hatch and an output bus. We have this input hatch, which allows it to take input from the crafter. We have got hydrogen gas. We have air. Then over here we have hydrochloric acid, we have sulfuric acid, we have an input hatch that allows us to manually put stuff in. We have liquid oxygen, and then back here we have plenty of room for putting more things in if we wanted to. I was thinking we should upgrade this canthal block to something higher. I know I've got higher stuff than canthal down here. It's a matter of can I find it? Like, okay, so, oop, not that one. The nichrome. I think the nichrome is the highest one I have. So if we break this and do this, I'm hoping having that in there is going to allow it to go a little faster because it can handle higher heat. We need everything to go faster. Faster, 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 faster. So I've got it up to 32. The quest, you'll remember, is 48. So we have 16 more to go. I'm hoping we can nudge this along and get 2 more batches of 8 during the stream. I'm hoping I can nudge this along and get it to the finish line. So we've got a ton of hot ingots that need to run through here, like a ton of them. It takes forever for it to make the dusts, like a long time to make the dusts. So that is one of the factors that takes so long for it to produce. We need to make a ton of indium, tin, barium, titanium, cuprate ingots. 95 of those. We need 96 tritium ingots. We need a ton of those. We need magnetic cerium. We need all of the things. All of the things. We also have run into problems where there is some certain chemicals we need to make that, because of how I have my large chemical reactor set up, I have to manually run around and do some stuff, which is very annoying and a lot of hard work. Um, but at the moment, it's the only way I can do it. So that's kind of annoying. So we have this off and running, making us materials. And now it's a matter of waiting. A lot of waiting. Fortunately, I have managed to do the naquadah producing part already. So we already have that slice done. So it's just a matter now of processing this the rest of the way. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. It looks like I have some other pieces that are stuck. So this rare earth wants to process, but it is currently stuck behind that. So what do I need to do to process my rare earth? In the centrifuge. No, I just need to process it in a centrifuge. Okay, so let's just take it to a different centrifuge. That's going to be problematic though, because I'm not going to get my tier bonuses. But this is going to be running for a really long time. I don't think I have any other centrifuges either. I think that's my only one at this tier. Isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Is there one in the clean room that would be at a higher tier that I can run it through there? That's not a centrifuge. That's not a centrifuge. No. No. I did make a second Elite Assembler too, because I was getting a situation with overlapping recipes that were canceling each other out again there. So that was a chore, let me tell you, to get a second one of these to process correctly. Oy, that was a chore. But I needed to get the ludicrous voltage coil on a machine on its own for it to craft properly, so I didn't have to keep switching back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Oh, it was so annoying. Got it done though. So that is the good thing. Where do we have another centrifuge? There we go. So, here we go. I don't think we got what we needed there. I'm not sure. We'll have to check. Oh, no, need more. Do I have more rare earth? No. Can I make some more? And we'll just run a bunch more through that other centrifuge while we're waiting. Because you're not going to be free for a long time. Do 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 do. Here. I think the one I want is sort of a yellow-green. Yes, we got enough. That advances that one. Sweet. That little piece is moving along. Oh, look at us go. That's probably running through one of the assemblers. These are processing in our assemblers, our assembler multi-blocks downstairs. I have taken drastic steps to assist. I have chunk loaded the mansion. There is an AE2 system set up on the roof whose sole purpose is to chunk load the 18 chunks that is the footprint of the Woodland Mansion. It doesn't autocraft a single darn thing. It has no processing power whatsoever, not a single disk drive, not a single machine. All it does is chunk load. Because the FTP chunk loader don't work. I don't know why it don't work. It don't work. So, I literally have this lovely little cable snake running around the base, making sure I touch the various chunks just enough to get everybody chunk loaded. Or at least they should be. Every chunk should have AE2 for the win. Well, when it comes to chunk loading, yes. I think so. I think I have a piece of the cable in every single chunk that the Woodland Mansion has a footprint on. It may not be much of the cable, but it doesn't have to be much of the cable. It just has to be a piece of the cable. So just a little piece there, a little piece there, a little piece there, little piece there, little piece there, little piece there, little corner there, a little bit there, a little bit here. Yeah, you get the idea. I have chunk loaded the base. Now, this does not include the area that's over by the lighthouse. So when it's dealing, yep, I've got a spatial anchor right here. Now, wait a minute. Now, why does it say it's only loading one chunk? It should be loading 18 chunks. What the hell? Spatial anchor for the fail? It's a glitch. Oi! AE2 for the fail. This is not supposed to glitch, sir. I need this to be loading 18 chunks. Is it actually loading and it just says one? Or is it... It is loaded. Okay. That gives me a little bit more confidence. You stopped using FTB months ago. Yep. I have taken the FTB chunk load off of the mansion. It's still claimed, but I don't have the chunk load on anymore. So I only have 13 force loaded at the moment, which is stuff over by the lighthouse and the bees and that area. So I would have to have a separate AE2 network to be chunk loading those areas. But this is what I had on hand, and I was desperate to get some sort of system up to help try and keep stuff running. Because I was trying everything. Right, I just have to set up, like a wireless setup in those other areas to connect to this controller. Because there has to be some sort of connection there for it to be connected to, right? You're loading chunks in 4 dimensions. Yeah, I'd have significantly more stuff to potentially chunk load. Yeah, I could do that too. I could set up a separate controller in each location with its own spatial anchor. That would work too. Like I said, I just wanted to get something set up with, and this is the materials I had on hand, so that's what I went with. It doesn't need a separate controller? Doesn't it have to be connected to an AE2 system to be live? I thought that's how the quest read. When connected to an ME network. All you need is power and the anchor? Well then. Yeah, well, we know we aren't doing quantum rings. That's beyond me. Do we have the ability to do this yet? No, because I haven't done those parts. That's right. I forgot. I forgot. Then I'd probably want a controller. Yeah, probably. It's like, machine, 10 seconds, not fast enough. And it doesn't help. Why are you producing other things? Oh no, wait, that's right. No, the next question is, why do you have the end dust going in there? Well, I was hoping to make ZPM my next plateau. And then start leveling off there with a bunch of... And see, I hadn't decided yet if I was going to make centrifuge multi-blocks or centrifuge single blocks. Because it's like, which direction do I go here? It was kind of iffy. Right. So if I'm gonna go multi-blocks, I've gotta have... If I'm gonna do ZPM level multi-blocks, I'm gonna need to have the rest of these... Exactly. I need to have some more of the rest of my checklist here done. Because I'm gonna need the europium for sure. That's a given. These are just so slow. Wait, you have a second one over here. Why don't you use this one? It is better here today than it has been. We had storms come through overnight, and it is now significantly cooler. Okay, so now I've got one multi-block making these, and I've got the other multi-block making these. That is good. And I got all the rest of the pieces and parts done. It's just a matter now of making all the hot ingots and cooling them off. Just tedious. Which, let's take, which one am I making over here now? This is the hot trinium. Let's take hot trinium. Wait, I gotta find it. I'm gonna move this one over to you. That should start redirecting. Yes. I mean, it's half a second per. It's not gonna go fast. It's just not. But we can't proceed until we get 16 more of these. Which means 2 batches of 8. So if we can just be patient and get 2 batches of 8, we're going to be able to complete this quest and then set up the multi-block to be able to make liquid europium. Which, in theory, I could do this one now since I have europium ingots already. Don't I actually have that in the extractor already? Do I? I do. Did I actually already make the europium and I have forgotten it? Oopsie. Let's just go ahead and get that one made. Just so it's on hand. I don't have to pull it out. I just have to have it on hand. I got him as quest rewards. That counts. Between Grinch and I getting quest rewards, we got the europium. That counts. So I have this one and I'll have this one already done. Oh, look, I can read this one. I just can't actually do it until I finish the other quest. So, like, these three will be finished. And then I have to actually get this up and running successfully, which that might be a whole nother process. Because I have to then make the europium wire to be able to make the 0-point module voltage coil, which I believe requires the elite assembler, which I can't make this until I'm able to make the europium as well. Which then leads us to the ZPM energy hatch, which then, if I can get the ZPM energy hatch, all my machines are getting upgraded. That will be a big deal. Like, a very big deal. But see, then once I have this one, that should unlock this path to come down here and get the crystal processors. That's also a very big deal. Everything down this path here is optional. That's optional. Everything else here is done. So if we can get this path here done, then that only leaves the research station, whatever this is involving, I would assume to use the data orb versus the data stick. So, I mean, the ZPM chapter really comes down to this and this. So we're really close to finishing that ZPM chapter. It's just being patient while it crafts all this stupid stuff. And it's taking so long because I'm doing it in the single blocks as opposed to the multi-blocks. But if I have the ZPM energy hatches, I could put in multi-blocks, they'd go fast. It all comes down to that europium. That's like that next really, really, really big gate. I know that because Squishy never has enough of it. For the longest time, that was what it was blocking him from proceeding, was he never had enough europium. Which, we're probably going to have issues with because we have to have enough liquid neodymium and we have to have hydrogen. Hydrogen, easy. We can do hydrogen in our sleep. Liquid neodymium, that might be a challenge. Like, probably quite a challenge. Especially as that's not an ingot we had on our list of things to have lots of. Oh, great. We do have ore, not gallons of it. We do have some. So that's something. We definitely want to look at this ore. Oops. We're going to be able to get lots of rare earth, so that's good. Looks like it's going to be a macerator. Macerator. Hmm. Thermal centrifuge. Macerator again to get neodymium dust. That then goes in an EBF. So that's doable. So we use that in a macerator. And then we use that in a thermal centrifuge. We use that. And then we've got neodymium dust. That recipe would appear to be sort of borked. Let's do that one and that one. And this one goes in the thermal centrifuge. How are we doing over here? Good. Oh. Why are you... you need to be in one with a 1. Can I make you a 1 temporarily just to finish this one? It's just temporary. Just for temporary. Then I'll put it back to 2, I promise. Putting it back. Putting it back. There. All done. All done. Well, that's going to be a problem. Use that in the electric blast furnace on a 1. I don't see it there. Let's try that. I mean, that will craft much faster. I mean, it won't at the moment because you are filled with 55 million other things at the moment, but that I think will be much better in the future when I get done with these things that just will never end. I take that back, though. This one is getting close to being ended. There's only 22 left of them, and then we have 76 of the other. This one's almost done. That's good. I should probably make tons of zinc dust now that I think about it. Oh, I have tons of zinc dust. Well, why do you need to... Sometimes it seems like you make stuff when you already have stuff. Why do you do that, game? If you already have stuff, why do you make more of it? You are a confused game. You are so confused. I just don't understand you. This is the exciting life I've been leading in my evenings since the weekend of trying to get these fusion machine casings to craft. It's just nursing my system along. I finally came to the conclusion I was trying to craft all 48 at once, and my system would get stuck because it was trying to produce too many resources at once in these big batches, and it was not working. And so I was like, okay, 48 is 6 batches of 8. Let's break it down into 6 little batches and try and craft them that way. That's when I figured out I have some issues with these 2 materials, and my ammonia recipe broke, so had to fix that. That was a journey. Which, now here was the silly thing. The ammonia recipe broke that I was using, so I took the recipe out, I wiped it, tried a couple of things, went back to the original recipe, which was not working before, and now it's working. Same recipe I had before, it just needed to be reset to the same recipe that I had in the first place. Never, ever, ever use refined storage in GregTech. It doesn't work. I have learned my lesson. Oh, look, it has finished 2. It's down to 6. It has completed the first 2. We have progress. We will take progress. Da, da, da. So I had thought about feeding ammonia into this one over here, but the ammonia gets used to make, so it's this one. No. It's so the ammonia, no, it's the ammonia. I need to make this phthalic acid so that I can process the phenol with liquid sulfuric acid and this to make this stuff so that it can be processed with my diamino. No, that's not right, to make phenol. What is it? It's, yeah, to make that. to make the LUV machine frames. I think that's right. It was a journey. We'll just say that. It was, yeah. So, yeah, there were a couple of evenings where I spent playing around with buckets and figuring out which combinations of chemicals needed to be put together with what to advance the recipe here forward. And then I figured out I just needed massive, massive amounts of this. So as you can see, I have 1,000 buckets sitting on hand in my storage system, plus the 64,000 that is sitting in the chemical reactor so that I can process Naquita as needed. That helped tremendously to get me ahead of the game on the liquid Naquita solution needed to advance this stuff. Oh my gosh, that helped so much. It has still been a journey, but once I got over that hump, I finally started getting the fusion casings coming and just being able to put some in my backpack at last. I mean, the first 8 completed, and I was just jumping up for joy and screaming, and Squishy was so proud of me. It was like, you did it! You finally got some! Like, ah. It was such a relief. You know, it occurred to me, how many um, flux points have we made without creating the damn recipe for it? A lot. Like, a lot, a lot. Why don't we do that? Yeah, that seems like a winning idea, Cat. That's a winning idea there. Why don't we do that? That's a winning idea because we know we are going to have a lot of energy hatches. And if we borrow this for a second and we look at the multi-block info on this massive bad boy, these sit on the middle ring facing each other. So there's going to be 16 of these divided by 2 is 8. So I'm going to need 8 flux points to be able to power this thing. So we should go ahead and get those crafted. So I have them at the ready. Lovely. I wonder if we should include that. Because then we could potentially run multiple recipes in one multi-block. Considering how much work this one multi-block has been, that might not be a bad idea. Ooh, this is done. Task completed. Interesting. So it's recognizing I have the task completed, but I don't get the quest until I get this one done. Okay. I'm fine with that. So close to having this one done. Okay. So then what I'm thinking I should do is I should take half of this and move it over there so that doubles the production of that. And I'm not sure what this is from. I think that that's got to be from when we make the hot tritium ingot. I think that's when that is. But we should be able to take that off the recipe and then that won't just stack up in the future. Okay, I'm going to close that. I can cancel that. Do I not have the upgrade for the EBF yet? I have it wall sharing, but I have the inputs set to be separate so that they're operating as two separate EBFs. They're not sharing their inputs. And I don't have a parallel crafter set up on these yet. I have not gotten anything too crazy going on multi-blocks because I'm really just going to be dipping my toes once I get this computer going. That's going to be my first of the really big multi-blocks. I do have lots of the assembler ones going. I've got a bunch. And then over here, we're going to have our big fusion computer set up to make europium. But no, I'm guessing I do not have a bunch of the shortcuts and speedy things going on my EBFs. I'm lucky I have the wall sharing working, to be honest. I had to have district help me with that because I somehow managed to come up with a configuration for the EBFs that technically worked, but it was very jacked up and it was technically working in that the multi-block would form, but it was not fully operational properly. I know. Leave it to me to pull something like that off. It had to be like just the right combination of having your inputs outputs in a certain array just right that it would let the multi-block form but it wouldn't work, and it would make it look like it was going to work. It would trick you really well, but it would not work. I was so frustrated. District was even over here, and we were forming and reforming the blocks, and he was like, "Why is this not working? I don't see why this isn't working." And I'm like, yeah, "Hello, welcome to my world. It's not working." And he's like, "I have mine set up like this," and he rearranged it, and pop, it worked. And I'm like, "Well, why is yours working and mine not working?" He's like, "Because I have mine laid up like this." I'm like, "Well, shouldn't it work if it's laid out like this?" He's like, "Well, you would think it would, but it doesn't." And I'm like, "Story of my life." But yeah, what we need to do is is if we can get this chapter done, then I think we might have to pause and come back and get some of these multi-blocks done. Because I think we're going to need the speed that some of these offer, as well as the um, parallel crafting that they're going to provide us to get more processing power going. My concern is I don't know if refined storage can handle it. I sincerely have my doubts that refined storage is going to be able to manage. Some it might, like ones that are 100% items versus 100% fluids. Some I think it would work better than others. But the ones that are like a combination of items with fluids, like if they take both and produce both kind of outputs, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I've been doing okay with just my one freezer. I mean, it's still been managing really well. I mean, I'm pretty happy. My one little freezer, it's still been trucking along just fine. I have not needed a second freezer yet. And I do think I need to get a second distillation tower because there's been too many times when the crude oil and the lightly steam cracked naphtha, these two, put them here, these two bump heads way too often. So I think since this one is already like really, really, really tall for this one, I think I need a second one to be my crude oil um, distillation tower. So I think that's going to be one of my next projects is to make a second distillation tower for purposes of processing crude oil separately from the lightly steamed cracked naphtha. So that way those two processes don't block each other. So that is on my list. We still have our cracker. I made the makes oil useful. Every coil after Cooper nickel reduces the energy uses by 10%. Yeah, I've got nichrome available, so I mean we could use nichrome on a cracker and potentially use that for oil production instead of a distillation tower. So that's also an option. That one's back in which one is it? Here. I do use. That one is a pretty cool looking multi-block, I'm not gonna lie. I think that one's kind of cool. And I think that one would actually look really neat on the little balcony that is sitting in here. If we set that one up there on the balcony to be processing our oil, I think that would look pretty neat. And I've been talking about doing that forever, so that is another possibility. So we've got two possible options, and the fact that we do get an energy usage discount, I am curious. All right, how are we doing here? We've got 34 on this side and 32 on this side. So they're fairly evenly divided between the two machines. So that's good. And they're halfway done because we've doing a batch of 8, and we've got 4 left, so this is good. And I did get, I don't know if I showed this or not, I did set up this is multi-block number, let's see, that's 1, that's 2, that's 1, that's 2. This is multi-block number 3, which this one is for the ZPM electric motor. So this is how much of it we have done. You can see that we are missing a few assembly line casings and a few assembly control casings. So I'm hoping if we can get the pieces needed for the multi-block we're working on now, that I can start the crafts for these while we're working, and this would be the next one that we finish up, because you obviously need the ZPM electric motor to make any of the rest of the multi-blocks on our list, because we have 7, no, sorry, we have 8 of these assembler multi-blocks on our project list, and we're only up to number 3. It is a long, long way to go. A very long way to go. This end game, it is not fast. It is much waiting. Why? We've got plenty of helium. I was gonna say, you should just keep on processing. Why are you stalling out, silly game? Yeah, processing 6 to 7. Why are you sitting on so many? You should just keep on keeping on. Oh, unless you were blocked from finishing restocking your helium and blah, refilled all at once. That could be interesting. Very interesting. We need the liquid trinium here, because this ingot's getting melted to do this. The liquid trinium is needed to run all of these items through the assembler. So that is why it's taking so long. Once we are finished with these fusion casings, trinium ingots are definitely going to need to get added to our, please keep 100 of these ingots in stock. That would be fabulous. I have grossly underestimated the number of ingots I should have kept in stock. But because my system likes to cannibalize itself, I can't have it making too many different ingots simultaneously, or it will lock up and have a hissy fit, and then nothing will get made. And then I'll have to clean the system out of everything that is stuck and start over again. And then all it will do is get stuck again, and then we just get into a loop. It's so frustrating. fact that we are a batch and a half away from having the blocks needed for this multi-block is very exciting. You can see that this batch of Reactor ingots is stuck because it wants to be processing diluted hydrochloric acid and it can't. And it can't because I believe that is the distillery. Right. So that needs to be number 2? No. I gotta look up what it is. Diluted hydro acid. This one, use distillery. It's a 2. Alright, so if I change this to a 2, and then I go here, and I do hydrochloric acid here, and I do we need to have, hang on, I need a stack upgrade in the fluid here. Oh, hang on. Here. We'll just let that run for a bit. Now, the important thing is to remember to change it back to 1, because if it needs to run anything else through there, it will get messed up if it doesn't. That should kickstart those crafts. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. And yes, I do run around my base doing a lot of manual cleanup and crafting. That is just the way I play Minecraft. I played very manually from the very first mod pack that I played in DDSS, which is Dungeons, Dragons, and Space Shuttles, and I've just never outgrown it, I guess. This is still an awful lot of zinc sulfide. Does it really make that much zinc sulfide? Or is that hot trinium ingot? So the recipe for that, the recipe for trinium dust, how am I making that? Over here. I make 2 zinc sulfide dust for every hot trinium ingot I make. Is it show 2 for every 1? Yeah, it shows 2 for every 1. Okay. Which that should be right. It's stored 186, and I've made 93 with 3 left to go, so that would be right. It's just, that's a lot of zinc sulfide. I must have an awful lot of zinc sulfide. I should probably find a use for that at some point. We're down to 2! Almost done. And then we have to start the final batch. Hopefully there will be nothing wonky. Nothing wonky for that final batch. It'll go smoothly. Please. Pretty please. If we can get the final batch done in an hour. I don't think it'll be long for me to assemble this. I hope. It's just a donut. I can make a donut. It can't be that hard to make a donut. I can't make the donut until I hold the 48 in my hand so that the quest clicks over. Waiting for it to melt. Oh, now that would be something I could... Oh, do I have an extractor that's faster than HV? Oh, I have this one, but we're obviously not putting... I just said there was not going to be anything in there besides my liquid soldering alloy. No, I don't have one faster. And we're done. Okay, so fusion. This one, we need 8 more. Oh, we're gonna need to make more Ruridits. And we're gonna need to make more samarium. Okay, that's gonna be a chore. Okay, that's fine. We're good. We're good. We're good. Ooh, okay. We are gonna need to make some more of that. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, start that. We got this, chat. We can do this. Alright, so here's that batch of 8. Okay. Welcome back. We just finished the first batch of 8. It took an hour and 21 minutes. With any luck, we can get the second batch of 8 done. And hopefully it'll go faster. I'm not going to hold my breath it's going to take faster because this one's going to have a lot more items to craft than the last batch did. So for example, we're going to need to craft the samarium. And we still need 30 ruridits, which that is a chore in and of itself. We need some more of our Naquid solution, so that's going to be a chore. We've got aqua regia that needs to be processed. We've got more diluted hydrochloric acid that needs to be processed. So fortunately, we already have our distillery is set to process that, so that is good, hopefully. Unless the distillationist tower is needed for something else and it is not processing correctly, so that could be a problem. Oh, it's still processing away. You're processing rare earth now, trying to get the stuff for samarium ingots. We need 123 of the hot indium tin barium, and we need 94 of the triniums. Plus we need 4 hot samarium ingots, plus we need 24 ruridits. That's a lot of hot stuff going on there. That is for sure. Is that processing correctly here and it's just backlogged? Yes, and the rare earth is stuck. So we're going to take the rare earth with us. Let's take the rare earth with us to the other centrifuge. And keep our fingers crossed we can get enough of the materials we need out of there for our samarium ingots. It doesn't care which one we process them out of as long as we process them somewhere. I really have to keep an eye on these liquids because things can get jammed up so easily. I'm gonna cancel that one so that the rare earth I'm processing gets shuttled over to you. Okay, that's starting to run. Great. Oh, now it's decided it needs to run tungsten steel. Sure, let's add another shrimp to the bobby. Ugh. The problem I have here is I only have these. So if it decides it wants to run tungsten steel, it could insert them right into the middle of my craft and tie up my electric blast furnaces. I don't have time for it to tie up my electric blast furnaces, and I do not have dedicated electric blast furnaces for each of these materials. This is a bad thing. I tend to try and piggyback recipes on top of each other in the same machine whenever possible to save resources, which can be a good thing unless it ties up the machine and then you can't use it. Yeah, it's one of those pros, cons. Save resources, slow down your crafting because you can only use the machine for one thing at a time. But with the multi-block, there is that processor block that allows you can do more crafts at once, which if we experiment with that in this computer, we might be able to do 4 different crafts in one multi-block, which would be awesome. I just am not quite sure how that works, so I may have to go back to District's stream when he started playing with it for the first time, assuming I can remember which episode it was, and watch what he did. See if I can figure that out. How are we doing? We need one more. Did I get any more rare earths in here? Just 2? Well, that's not going to be enough. Uh, I'm making new rare earths and it's triggering this. Funny. If it moves the craft forward, that's the important bit. So much naquita dust to process. Oh my gosh. I think it was 10 seconds before, and now it's down to 8. So this is good. I've managed to gain a couple of seconds to craft. We will take that. Most definitely. Okay, so you said you had more rare earths than that. That is not how many you had. Oh, wait, did you dump them over here? You did! You did dump them over here. Oh, please don't have produced the wrong material with those. We can't have that. We do not have time for that. That would be bad. Very, very, very bad. Alright, you go in there. Do, 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 do. There we go. Okay, there's another one done. So much rooted wire. I still end up short. Didn't end up in there. There's 11 more in here. Ah! Right there. Come on, I just need 2 more bits. Come on, 2 more bits. One more. One more, please. Yes. Okay. That takes care of the samarium. Now it just needs to process its way up. I can take that one and cancel that one. And I can't remember the sequence here. That one processes into the ingot. A 100 more of those to go. And the tungsten steel dust is just sitting there. Do this again. Doop. Turn it back when it's done. That'll let us keep it processing along. Keep the line moving, just like the Royals in the World Series. We just need to keep things moving along. Oh, now do we have something stuck up in the freezer? No, there's nothing backed up in the freezer. It's fine. Do that so that way that can process. Oops. Let's do that. Okay, that's pushing that along, which is pushing that along. Hopefully that's going to move somebody else along. Oh, that probably goes in this machine, which can't go in there because obviously it's busy. Which it will be until it's finished processing these, and it has another 22 cycles to go for that. I think that's right. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's 22 cycles more. Yep, that's right. Oh, it's also waiting to process for the platinum sludge. We have a lot of stuff running through that centrifuge. Why is that not processing? Magnetic should be here. There's nothing preventing it from running. Magnetic samarium dust. Magnetic. Magnetic samarium dust. Samarium dust goes in and it produces magnetic samarium dust. It doesn't have a circuit involved. It's just samarium dust into magnetic samarium dust IV level. It has power. Hmm. For magnetic samarium dust. So it's this use. Oh, it needs to be processed in the centrifuge. The centrifuge is busy. Oh my lord, how many things do we have set up for this one centrifuge machine? Answer, a lot. I have a lot of things set to run in the one centrifuge machine, obviously, and they're all getting backed up, waiting for it to be completed. Oh my gosh, okay. How many more cycles of this do I have? Well, that's full. That would make it seem like there's a full 32 at least. Oh, yeah, there's... Well, no, because there's only 27. Because these get made into the tritium ingots. Oh, it's 18 stored, plus the 16 processing, plus 20. Oh, there's still quite a bit to go then. I know, I know, I need to be patient. I need to be patient. I'm not good at patience. This one is done. So we can change you back to 2. How are you doing? How are you doing? Uh, oh. Okay, okay. That is what is you doing over here? You're in an EBF. Circuit 1 to make a hot ingot. Well, I changed that to circuit 1 and it wasn't making it. This needed argon, and I don't have argon to do a circuit 2. Or 1. But you don't want to run on a 1. Use. Oh, it has to be HSSG or higher, and this is only RTM. So that explains that problem. I actually think it's going to get done on this side faster than it's going to be done on this side. That explains why we may be caught up here. Oh no, that's for neodymium. That's never mind. We have too many blocks left to do. 73 of these, 60 of those. Whichever one gets done first, I will split the remaining one in half between them. But I also have the samarium ingots that need to get done, and there's a ruridet ingot that needs to get done. Where is that? That's probably blocked by the damn centrifuge. Even Navy coming on in. Hello, hello, hello. I am hydrating with Dr. Pepper. Everybody, time to stretch. Knock that dust off. Pop and crunch and that feels good. It is not scorching here. I am happy to say we had probably a 20-degree difference between yesterday and today, thanks to a cold front that came through. Unshrimp thy posture. Yes. And goodness knows I am hunchbacked like Notre Dame Cathedral in frustration over how slow this crafting is taking. I just want my fusion casing so I can make this multi-block. We have 8 more to go. The last 8 before we will finish this computer and be able to potentially make europium. The humidity here has been killing. Oh no. Well, you are an island, so you have a little bit of water surrounding you, so that would explain why it's a bit humid. I don't have that excuse. I'm completely landlocked. There is no reason for me to have that kind of humidity. You at least have an excuse. I think yesterday at like 10 o'clock, it was still 90 something. 90 degrees Fahrenheit at 10 o'clock is stupid. It was awful. Ugh. Yeah. Grinch was just saying the other night that the heat the past 2 to 3 days has been as bad as he can remember it. It was, yeah, at 10 p.m. last night. 10 p.m., middle of the country, it was like 90. Yes, it was horrific. Now, that front came through. There were storms at 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep. And then this morning it was a cool 70 something degrees, but it was still humid as could be. So, but it was cooler, a little bit of a breeze. It was vastly improved temperature wise. And right now it is 9:15, and the current temperature is only 75 degrees. And the heat index, I think, yesterday was like 111 or 113 or some absolutely obscene number. I mean, it was just like it should be illegal. But hey, the rain clouds have been teasing you all week. At least we aren't along the Pacific Rim, uh, where they had that 8.8 earthquake, and then they had to worry about tsunamis all day. That was ridiculous. An 8.8 earthquake is like top 10 all-time record highs. And I think I read that the waves that came ashore around the rim was anywhere from like 4 to 7 feet. Ridiculous. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I know there were evacuations in Hawaii, there were evacuations along the western edge of South America, there were evacuations along the western coast of North America. There were, it was insane. Just, I have a friend who lives in Hawaii. And so, me and a bunch of my other Pokemon Go friends were all like, lady, are you okay? Are you having to evacuate? You need anything? Please let us know you're okay. So, yeah, nothing like you're in paradise, so you have to flee your home because it's going to get very wet. Just, ugh, just unbelievable. And of course, then you've got JC. He's melting down there in Florida, getting ready for his hurricane season to start. Lucky man. We all know how much he's looking forward to that. It's his favorite time of year. See, where is this coming from? Rhodium sulfate. I have no idea what this part is. Rhodium sulfate. Am I... See, I don't see that. Okay, it probably comes from that. Yes, so it's coming through there, which is more of the process of us waiting for our lovely... Oh, and I've got endstone dust again. Okay, I think once the impure enriched Naquita solution is gone, then it's going to process the endstone dust, and I think we'll be in business. I think. Emphasis on I think. So there's 21 left there. And there's 27 left there. So this is actually going to get done first. I think. So now I'm changing my mind. I'm a woman. I have the prerogative to do that. These are still processing. Oh, something's processing. Oh, two of our superconductor blocks have finished. That's good. We're waiting on something else before it can do the fusion casing, though. I think that's this part. this is almost done, which I think will then trigger a whole bunch of other things happening because there's going to be a ton of different things happening through the centrifuge. Well, it won't be a ton of different things because that's got to have that 128 end stone dust that's going to go through. That's going to take a hot minute. And I think is that going to make the platinum sludge? I'm trying to remember what the end stone dust makes. No, it's making tungstate dust. Why am I making tungstate dust? No, it's making the helium gas. I must need helium gas for the freezer upstairs. Well, that was like 200 of those. Oh, goodness. Okay, so that's going to be a hot minute. This is almost done. Then I can put it back to 2. Well, we most definitely need the helium, so that makes sense to me. It's just, we have so many things waiting for the centrifuge. And it's not like I can pull things out to go put them in the other centrifuge like I did before. At least not easily. It's easier to be patient and wait. It's just very hard to do. Not a problem at all, AV Navy. Not a problem at all. We are just sitting here waiting. Our craft got a little derailed because we ran out of helium in the freezer upstairs. So the freezer made a phone call to the refined storage system and said, "Hey, I need helium." So it put in a call and sent in a whole bunch of endstone dust to get processed into helium gas, which is now preventing our system from processing what it needs to for Oh, interesting. So the endstone dust is there, but now we've got our platinum group sludge, and the aqua regia has been able to come into play as well. So it's here, but I don't think it's processing yet until the endstone dust gets done. That's interesting. So it's currently showing both sets of inputs and both sets of outputs, but it's only processing one thing at the moment. Alright, now it should flip. Oh, it's because there weren't enough outputs for it to flip to the other one. That makes sense. Okay, now we should see some movement. Now some things should start happening. Hopefully. There we had some stuff happen. There we go. Things are moving. Progress. Progress. These two together make our Ruridit dust is going to make our hot Ruridit ink. Oh, it does not like that. That's going to be because you are full. I move you back over to here. Oh my gosh, just keep moving stuff back and forth. It's not that things are glitching. It's just I've got too many things wanting the same machine, and it can only do one thing at a time. And so it's just waiting its turn. And so there was enough room on the input side for it to add the two inputs, but there wasn't enough room on the output side because it had like 6 outputs, and not all there was no room for the outputs to go, so it just held those two inputs like on the side, tying up the input slots. I'm thinking that sort of scenario might be why I end up with some of these crafts getting stuck, is if it can have room on the input side, but it doesn't have room on the output side, it's sending the inputs anyway. Which it shouldn't send inputs if it can't output. It should be able to do the entire craft before it sends anything in. No, these things do not multitask well. At all. Not at all. So, we've got things stuck in our EBFs now. We're just waiting for EBFs to cook. That's where we're at right now. We are waiting for the EBFs to cook. So this one over here, that one is done. So would this one work over here? No. So you do not like it over there. Would you like it over here? No. See, you have to be on the higher tiered one. All of you have to be on a higher tiered one. Can you be over here? Aha! You will work. Oh, you're gonna be very slow though. Like, am I better off just leaving you right where you're at 38 seconds? Nope. You will not work over there. Okay, so you're gonna go there, and you're gonna go back to 2. So I have to keep these things all cooking over there. I can't do any more shortcuts. I am stuck over here. Oh, we've got more assembler action happening here. Not sure which assembler piece that is. It's using one of the electric motors. That might be one of the electric pumps. That might be what we're making as the electric pumps. Yeah, because it's down to scheduled 3. Oh, we're down to scheduled 6. Stock up, little beaches. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're down to 6. Down to 4. The end is in sight. Come along, little doggy. You can do it. We're halfway through the last batch. All the fluid crafting is done except for melting the tritium. And this is only needed for the wires. So many wires. 44, 44, 48. Just double checking my number. I didn't want to find I was off on the math. That would have been very sad, and I may have started crying in real life because that would suck. Like, seriously, that would be very bad. Oh. Oh. So many hot ingots. There's got to be a way to make these EBFs faster. Excuse me. Excuse me again. It is getting late, but we're so close. I want to get this multi-block assembled and generating europium, if possible, before we sign off tonight, so that hopefully I can get some europium coming in before I play tomorrow. Because I need europium for the parts that go into the ZPM electric motor, I think. Yeah, because they need the fine europium wire. And I can't craft enough fine europium wire until I have a production of these going. I think I'm going to end up with a bunch of stuff left over. Because I don't think I'm going to have this. That's not going to get processed. I think I'm going to have a bunch of stuff left over from this craft. Which is interesting. My Pokemon Go game is now showing that it's raining. I wonder if I got storms coming in tonight. I better check the radar. Just because I am a weather phobe. I can't help myself. don't see any storms close. Oh, there's some storms to the north and they're moving straight south. So I might get some storms tonight. Yippee skippy. And of course, if they do get here, it'll be in the middle of the night when I'm trying to flip and sleep. Why do they have to keep doing that? Come in the evening when we're streaming and I have my headphones on and I can't hear it. That would be fine. Grumble, 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 grumble. Oh, oh, excuse me. 23 left to go. Come on. I think I'm going to take a restroom break before the craft finishes up. So that way we can hit the ground running and get this assembled. I will be right back. And I'm back. I went to use the restroom, and of course, Waltz had to follow me. Because heaven forbid I leave the room for 2 seconds. No, no, I have to stay within dog's eye view every second. Every second! How dare I leave? What was I thinking? can't leave. I have to be in doggy eye view at all times. Okay. Good news, we are wrapping up the last of the hot indium tin. Yes, Waltz, I'm with. Yes. Yes, Waltz, I'm petting you. The last one of those should be done. Okay. Now I should. Yeah. Waltz, I can't do my Minecraft things and be petting you at the same time, sweetie. Alright. Split that in half. Put that there. Put that there. Move these over here. No, I don't want you making these yet. We need to finish these first. Finish these first, and then you can make the HSS after that. Because it'll be fine then. It will be fine. Well, not what? That's a 0. And this is a 1. And this is a 1. And this is a 2. And then there's one on the roof that I don't have any power on yet. That was my freebie that District made while we were testing things. Do 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 do. Come on, go. Oh, do 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 do. Alright, now you can do that. And this is finishing up that. Oh, goody, 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 goody. Go. And why are you stuck processing 7? Because you're out of helium again. No. Okay, hopefully you got a big batch of helium. Finish processing it, and now we're going to be able to process all of them at once. There we go. We just have to melt 6 more ingots. Four more ingots. Three more ingots. Two more ingots. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh my God, we have been working towards this for, it feels like for ages. This has been what, 2 weeks? Here it comes. Da, 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 da. Boom. And boom. Yay! Okay, so that gets us boom and boom. We'll take those. Some XP. And then... a dark tank with europium in it. Yeah, please. That was good reward. 6 to 18 europium ingots, yes, please. Oh, I only got 7. Oh, that was bad. Hopefully Grinch does better. Oh, that was bad. Okay, and that one did unlock the 9 raw crystal chips, which didn't... Seriously, we'll be using a lot of these going forward, so it's important to always keep both the crystal chips and the crystal chip part stocked. 9 raw crystal chips. It doesn't work that way. I have 7, so I need 2 more. I had the liquid europium already. What machine am I doing that in? I don't remember. It's been so long. Oh, that's right, the autoclave, and it is only a percentage chance. And I think it's only a percentage chance, and it's a very long craft. So we'll let that run. Let's grab our stuff. Let's make this thing. Let's make some europium before Cat falls asleep. Okay, so we're taking all of these bits down here and over here to the corner. All right, and I gotta find my, no, not that one. This one. It can only use LUV, ZPM, and UV energy hatches. For every hatch it has, its buffer increases by 10 million EU and has a maximum of 160 million. That is a very large structure. Okay, multi-block info. It's 3 layers. And it is a big, like I said, a big donut. So it is inner ring, outer ring, top ring. And I believe this one sets inside and then sticks out one. So this is going to be my inner ring bottom layer. And I want to make sure I'm far enough out from the wall that I can stick out one block. So these can be energy hatches, output hatches, or input hatches. Okay. So like you could put let's do like that so I can see it this way. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's a 15 by 15 by 3. So let's get some dirt. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Round over here. Okay. So we know we're going to come in 1 block, 1 block. Where's my center at? I didn't grab enough dirt. Okay. 9 and use multi-block info. Okay. So we're going to inside 1 block. Let's have the output hatches on the bottom. That seems reasonable. And then we need the fusion machine casings. So we're going to do a fusion machine casing and an output hatch and an output hatch. And then over here, I'm going to put a fusion machine casing and an output hatch and an output hatch. And then we're going to do a casing and an output hatch and an output hatch. And then we're going to put a fusion casing and an output hatch and an output hatch. Okay. And then, all right. So now, from each of these, diagonal up 1, diagonal up 1. So from each of these, I'm going to put dirt block there, dirt block there. So this here, this here. So then dirt block there, dirt block there. And it's going to be dirt, that, that, that. Dirt block there, dirt block there, 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 dirt block there, dirt block there, 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 there. Okay. Then use multi-block info. Then 1 on the diagonal connecting each of these. So 1 there, there. 1 there, 1 there. Oops. Get out from underneath there, please. 1 there, 1 there. 1 there, One there. Okay, so that is the bottom layer. Okay, so then 9 use here layer 2. So layer 2 goes out 1 and in 1 and is hollow on top of the 3 blocks, the 2 blocks, the 2 blocks. And the 4 supercoil blocks are on top of our 4 diagonals. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is that's going to go there. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. And that's going to go there. This is not going to be as fast of a build as I had hoped because this is complicated. Wait, why is this showing 79 fusion machine casings? It only had me make 48. Oh, wait. I have glass. I bet I have swapped some of these out for glass. This isn't showing anything as glass. When looking at the multi-block info in JEI, make sure to click the P0 button to P1 in order to see the correct layout utilizing fusion glass. Okay, wait a minute. There's a trick here. There is a trick here. Ah, there is 2 different versions. One with glass and one without. Whoo! Pays to read the quests, JC. Pays to read the quests. There we go. So layer 2 I've got the controller is on one of the sides in the center. At each of these corners, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Those are where the energies go. And then the rest are in this has got to be more inputs or outputs. No, this is specifying outputs. What are these on the inside? Also outputs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These are all outputs. Facing out or facing in. With it being hollow over these. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to put dirt on top so I can place my blocks, and then I can take so these need to actually be the inputs. So I need to, where is my backpack that has my pickup? I need to turn that off. And then my inputs. All right, change the plants. We're going to put inputs on the first level. Inputs. Come here. We got this. Input, input. Input, input. Okay. All right, so now here we're going to have output, output, glass. And then on the other side, we're going to have the same thing. Glass, output, output. Actually, let's just do those first. So this, 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 this. So output, oopsie. Output, output, glass, glass, output, output, glass, output, output, output. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Output, output, glass. Output, output, glass. Whoa, 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 whoa. Glass, output, output. Okay, so that takes care of the use. Multiblock. All right, so that takes care of so I have dirt here, and I've taken care of this and this. Then on the outer edges of each dirt, it's going to be glass, glass. 2 glasses on the outer edge of each dirt. Okay, so on the outer edges of each dirt, 2 glasses. The outer edge of each dirt, 2 glass. Okay. All right, so now we come to there are going to be 4 energy hatches facing in towards each other on the inside and the outside. Using this. Okay, so now we use these. So it's going to be 1 there. Whoops, see, we're doing it again. 1 there, 1 there. One there, 1 there. Perfect. Okay, so then here we're going to have, whoops, helps to be standing on the dirt. 1 there and 1 there. And then 1 there and 1 there. Perfect. 1 there, 1 there. One there, 1 there. Oops. One there, 1 there. And 1 there and 1 there. Okay, so the energy, oopsie, The energy hatches are in place. Okay. Next. Next we need fill in one glass to sort of do a connection on the inner layer. Probably going to need some more dirt here. We'll get some more ready. Okay, so then there should be dirt, 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 dirt. Okay, so then there should be one glass here, 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 one glass here. That uses up our glass, and that completes the circle. The places we skipped are where we're going to have our flux points and provide energy to our multi-block. Okay, great. We can do... Oh, where to put the controller? I think it makes sense to put the controller over here, facing towards... I'm going to put it there. I'm just not going to put it until we're done building the final level. So, whoopsie. I just said I'm not placing you, and then what do? I place you. Ooh, it was bad. Alright, so then we can take this up to level 3. Now, level 3 is going to be built on top of level 1. And it looks like these are being placed facing upwards. And these are going to be the remaining of our input hatches. This thing has a lot of input hatches. Okay, so I've got input hatch, 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 input hatch. And then we need the rest of these. And then if these spaces truly need to be hollow, I better hollow these out before I fill them in. Just in case. Okay, so then we're going to put a piece of dirt down there and do block, block, and immediately fall down, which does not do me any good. Then this is going to go there. And then we're going to put a dirt block down there. And we're going to do block, block. Pick that up. And then we're going to put a dirt block down there. Block, block. Put a block down there. Put a dirt block down here. Block, block. Put a block down here. Block, block. Block down here. Block, block. Block down here. Whoop. Land. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's saying don't break that with that. I need a wrench. No, not a wrench. I need a, what is it I need? I need to break it with something else or I'm going to not get my block back, and that would make me very salty. This wrench? What am I missing? Hold left click to dismantle machines. Whew, okay. Good thing cat pays attention. Very good thing cat paid attention. If I messed that up and I was not able to finish my multi-block, there would have been tears. Legit would have had tears. There would have been tears. Boom, boom. Okay. So I think the only thing left to place is the controller? Yes? Yes, I think. It formed. I actually formed it. Oh my gosh. Okay. First thing we're going to do is clean it up a little. Now, if I want to put this Elite Parallel Control Hatch in here somewhere, I would use this. It's no, it's land. Like that, and then like okay, apparently that's not the right place to put it. or it's not compatible with this particular multi-block. I don't know how to use it. Paralleling hatches are going to be incredibly important, especially moving forward with large multi-blocks. The first tier of this hatch will allow 4 processes. Use. So it can be used on any of these. Maceration, chemical bath. Those are some very large multi-blocks. Oh my goodness. Oh. This I'm not ready to even contemplate this. So, we won't. Okay, so this particular block is not compatible with this machine. So that explains that. So we're going to come over, turn that off. Okay, so we're going to do this, this. Let's put this at red. This is going to drain so much power. Oh my gosh. Red. Red. I mean, I know we have infinite power, but red. Then let's go to the inside. And we'll repeat the same thing here. And this will be yellow. Yellow. I mean, it's going to take a hot minute to fill all these with energy. To be sure. Get in there. And yellow. Oh, never mind, they're full. Well, that's crazy. Okay, so some clean up some dirt blocks here that are just hanging out in the really wrong places. Okay, so we have Mr. Multiblock. Structure formed and you have power. So these are input hatches, those are output hatches, and we need to make europium. And we need to get a connection to the network. Which is way over here. Hang on. Alright, so here we have input and output hatches over here. Like, there's a lot of all of them. So I know for europium, in the fusion reactor, I need hydrogen and I need liquid neodymium. EU to start, I need 150 million EU. LUV. What is my tier? LUV. So I'm right at the right tier. So I need an exporter here and an exporter here. Like that. And this is going to be a fluid, and this is going to be a fluid. And more of these, please. Okay. So, do I have... I don't have liquid neo. I don't have that one yet. Hydrogen gas will work. So we should be able to do hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas, and it's already full. Lovely. So we'll just do hydrogen gas. All right, so let's run back over here. Okay. Let's make a bunch of ingots. And while we're waiting for that, here, use, and we need this in that extractor. Sorry, no, not the extractor. Oh, here. Liquid neo. That. this one. Scrap remelting. Extractor. Oh, it takes 2 ingots per... That's not a good return at all. Oh, that's a terrible return. That's like the suckiest return ever. I do not like. I do not like at all. I want a crafting upgrade. Back over here. Take one of you out, one of you in. And then liquid, neo. I need 1 bucket worth. That's going to take 14 ingots worth. That's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. I hate everything. Oh, I didn't mean to put my cables away yet. Alright, liquid neodymium. So we're going to say you export that. Ooh! It's doing the things! Looky, 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 looky! I land. It's making liquid europium! Now, where do I output it from? Right here. Okay, so we can take an importer right here and run the cable down, down, and down. Change to do this. Fluids. And I need another stack upgrade. I don't think it's going to make it fast enough to require a stack upgrade right now, but all right. Anybody else have any? No. So that is just going to passively be making me europium, which is exactly what I want it to do. Europium. 17 buckets worth. Oh, albeit 16 of that was from the quest reward. But it is incoming. It's trickling in because it's only 16 millibuckets per. But this is great. I can let that just passively run. Oh dear. You have a good night, AV Navy. And my apologies for the spam bot. This is so great. I am so happy we got it done. The fusion reactor computer is ours. We can now set up the fine europium wire, which is a wire mill 3. Which is going to be there. And then I think we have to get a pattern here that is this one. And this is fluid into ingot on these. There. So then fine europium wire. Which I only need 1 ingot to craft the first batch of them. Boom! Boom! And we get 16 to 48 as a reward. We got the maximum 48. Let's go. How is that for quest progress tonight, folks? We got our fusion reactor computer operational. We are producing liquid europium. We now have the ability to have liquid europium, europium ingots, and fine europium wire. We can now work on our oops. Raw crystal chips. which is going to lead us down this path towards crystal processors, crystal processor assemblies, crystal processor supercomputers, and the crystal processor mainframe, which leads us towards the research station. Folks, this weekend we're going to have a goal of finishing the ZPM chapter. Don't know if we'll make it, but that's going to be our goal. So I am going to have Europium passively processing away, and we are going to try and get our Elite Assembler 3, our 0-point module voltage coil. It's just a regular assembler. That's perfect. Oh, never mind. It's a ZPM level assembler. I misread. So this is required to make this. So I have to make this. This, I believe, requires these two. So now that we have the ability to make these things, I can continue with our assembler multi-blocks. So that is the stuff we need to be working on our assembly control casings. I still needed to make 39 more of these. So we will start that craft running. We will see how successful we are at making another batch of these. I'll touch base with it in the morning. We'll see what goes. And we will see on Saturday when we have our next stream how far into the assembler multi-blocks I am able to go. I am so excited. We made the multi-block after all. This is such big news. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. This is just huge, huge progress. So we'll keep our fingers, toes, and everything else crossed that we're going to be able to finish the ZPM chapter within the next week. Depends on how long it takes us to finish the assemblers. That's going to be our progress, is going to be how long it takes us to finish the assemblers. Now, if my system cooperates and the recipes don't break, we can finish them fairly quickly. Then maybe we can finish them in a week. If they break down again, it may take us longer. But we have streamed a little later. It's 11 o'clock on a weekday, which normally I wouldn't stream this late on a weekday, but I really, really, really wanted to get that multi-block done. So 3.5 hour stream in the middle of the week is a little long for me, but I really wanted to get that done. So I am so psyched about getting that finished. And we will continue work on our assembler multi-blocks. I will forge ahead, try to get what I can done for our Saturday evening stream. Hopefully you can come and check it out. On Saturday, remember, we are going to have lots more Minecraft coverage. Triple header with District Spark in the morning, DC and JC Gaming with more All the Mods 9 in the afternoon, and yours truly in the evening. I believe District will also be doing Ocean Block 2 on Sunday. I don't know what Minecraft he will be up to on Saturday. I don't believe he's doing all the mods 9. I believe he's doing something else, but I don't know if he's finalized yet what. So it may be a surprise. You'll want to check in on his Friday night stream to figure out what he's going to do, or he may still be up in the air. We'll see. But for now, I am going to head to bed, get some sleep with a very big smile on my face because we are making Europium. That is just so huge. I cannot fathom that we did it. We are making Europium. I'm so happy. Have a great, great rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on where in the world you may be. And I am going to go and celebrate. Good night, everybody. Oh, sorry, Nova. Yep, it is late for me and I have to work in the morning, so I have got to go. I'm glad you got here in time to say goodbye. Well, hello and then goodbye. It's good to see you. Hopefully you'll be able to stop by on Saturday and pop in and see what we are up to then. Good to see you though. Goodbye.